One of the things I know, and I think you all know as you're listening to me now, it's difficult for Americans and Christian Americans to separate oftentimes the Christ-given mandate to love others and to care for their spiritual well-being and to be concerned for that person's eternal destiny. We have to do that. That is a mandate that is distinctively Christian. We must do that. But then there's a point to where an ideological or a passionate pursuit of a religion or a review and an anti-God worldview, such as Marxism and Mohammedanism, those who hold to that are really their soldiers on their quest to fulfill their ideology. If their ideology, which it is to destroy freedom, Christians and Jews, and if they could, the God of the Bible himself, then how do we balance these things? And we don't have time to get into all of it, but the role of government does become involved in that. But how we deal with it as individuals certainly factors into it as well. But the rise of these two activist Muslim Congresswomen, Ilhan Omar from Minnesota and Rashida Tlaib from Michigan, along with the Marxist promoting views of AOC, the American people right now are being confronted with an ideological aggressivism that's attacking the Constitution, biblical morality, and Christians and Jews. And these two we're going to focus on now, they're a part of what's earned them the designation of the Squad. But is that the most accurate description? Because the Squad basically says how many they are. But if we talk to them, and I'm going to ask IQ Rassooli right now, that when we listen to these individuals, they tend to be far more just a view. They tend to be on a mission. And to demonstrate that, here's just a very short piece from Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib in Michigan just a couple days ago at the NAACP. This is how she started her speech to that group.
Yeah, I'm not going nowhere. Not until I impeach this president.
Got that? I'm not going nowhere until I impeach this president. All right, IQ, this comment and others made by her and Ilhan Omar in particular, to me manifests not just an opinion, but really kind of describes a mission. Do you think that at least these two, and maybe the group wholly as a group together, should be more described based on their mission as a sleeper cell than on the number of them being a squad? What do you think about that?
First of all, you've got to separate the two Muslims from the other two. AOC and Plessy are not relevant, really. They are both stupid. Their mission is completely miscalculated. They have no brains at all. And they are being very nice to them. The most important ones are Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib. They swore on the Quran and allegiance to the American Constitution, which is completely and utterly useless. You can't swear on the Quran and be a loyal citizen. You can't be a Sharia-compliant Muslim like Ilhan Omar, who wears a hijab, so it's 100% she is Sharia-compliant, and be a loyal citizen. The tragedy in America is that nobody in Congress from over 500 people, whether they are Republican or Democrat, stood up and said, you can't belong here. You are an anti-American. They're not only anti-American, by the way. Islam is against 80% of humanity which is not Muslim. They are the enemies of Buddhists, Hindus, Jews, Christians, pagans, agnostic, and atheists. Not only Jews. By the way, the frontal display of Jew hatred by the two despicable anti-American Muslims, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, is in reality a red herring, a complete and utterly calculated distraction, because as Sharia-compliant Muslims, they are equally and as passionately, they hate every human being who is not a Muslim. That's simple. It's not complicated. You have to concentrate on these two. The other two are irrelevant. They are the sleepers. In jihad, there are two types of jihadis. The war jihadis, which are the ones who murder people, left, right, and center, invariably civilians who have no guns to defend themselves. But the most important part of the sleepers are called the silent majority Muslims. the fact that they are silent, as Muhammad said 1400 years ago, silence means consent. That is why since 9/11, you have never heard of seen any number of American Muslims demonstrating outside in the street, shouting, "Not in our name." Never. And never in Europe also. The question is why? Why aren't so-called majority nice Muslims demonstrating and shouting, saying, "Not in our name"? The simple reason is because it is in their name. What the terrorists are doing is exactly what is demanded and commanded in the Quran. They tell us that ISIS is an abnormality. On the contrary, ISIS is the most perfect Islamic entity, more perfect than Al-Qaeda. Because Al-Qaeda followed the Quran word by word. ISIS follows the Quran letter by letter, dot by dot, and comma by comma. And again, $200,000 says, nobody can come against me and prove me wrong. Back to you, sir.